Some brands offer you low finance, or cashback, or servicing.
Renault don't do ors. We do ands. The Renault Kadjar with 1.91% APR and €1,000 cashback and 3 years servicing, saving you thousands. Renault, the brand with the ands. Visit your local Renault dealer. Finance is made under a hire purchase agreement. Terms and conditions apply. Deposit required subject to lending criteria. See Renault.ie.
Simply Financial with Christopher Calandra, Certified Financial Planner, is an innovative, comprehensive, informative, and cutting-edge podcast that discusses financial topics ranging from personal finance, economics, politics, and personal growth. Simply Financial will cover intriguing and thought-provoking questions so that the listener can simply increase their financial IQ.
Welcome to episode number 50 of season number 2 of the Simply Financial podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Calandra. You are practically giving away free money if you have your emergency fund and or any other big balance savings account sitting in a traditional account at a brick and mortar bank, as opposed to using an online savings account. In episode number 46 of season number 2, which was titled Establishing and Maintaining an Emergency Fund, I talked quite a bit about being smart with money, and part of that is to have a well-established, well-funded emergency fund. But an online savings account is an important component in my mind in how you deploy your emergency fund. And this also applies if you're saving money for, say, to buy a house, to establish a business, or a small business owner may want to pile up money for an expected tax bill. All of these are well suited for an online savings account. So getting into this a little bit, according to a recent Money Magazine study, the savings rate, the earnings, the rate of return you get in an online savings account is 23 times as high as the average found with traditional brick and mortar banks. The average free online savings account as of October 2018 is about 1.9%. Again, I'm drawing from Money Magazine's study, and I know for a fact that several online savings accounts are actually paying more than 1.9%. The thing about it is, online banks have much less overhead expense. Clearly, they're not brick and mortar, so that's where a lot of the savings come from, but that enables them to offer higher yield savings accounts. I've been using an online savings account for well over 15 years now, and I want to give a special thanks to my long-term client, Susan, and her sister, Fran, who first turned me on to this back in the early 2000s. It's been a great tool for Joelle and I over these many years. So how does it work? These online savings accounts, I believe all of them provide FDIC insurance, but you'd want to confirm that. You basically open up an account and then you link it with your checking or savings account at your traditional brick and mortar bank. And then that link allows you to easily move money back and forth. So in my online savings account, when I want to make a deposit to it, that deposit's going to originate from my checking account. So I go to the online savings account website that I believe is safe and secure. I go to the site, I do transfer money, and I say I want to move X number of dollars from my linked checking account at my brick and mortar bank. And then within 1 to 2 business days, that money moves from my checking account into my online savings account. On occasion, when I need to draw money out of my online savings account, I do the same thing, just in reverse. It typically takes, again, 24, maybe 48 24 to 48 hours or 1 to 2 business days for that transaction to take place. The money moves easily. Most of these online savings accounts don't have minimums. They don't have any fees. There's no transaction fees in my experience. So they are extremely user-friendly. A word of caution, though, that these online savings accounts are great and they're important. They are not well suited if you're going to constantly be moving money back and forth. I would not recommend doing this if every week you're going to be pulling money out for your utility bill, your car payment, only to put a little money back in, but then the next day you're taking money out. That would be a pain in the neck, and it seems to me that 24, 48 transaction period starts to be a little problematic. What I've typically used it for as an emergency fund, and at certain times a savings account if we're accumulating money for a specific purpose. I'm putting money in, maybe at regular intervals, but I'm not taking money out. I'm not doing a lot of transactions, and it really works well, and the interest rate that I'm getting far outpaces what I would get in my traditional brick and mortar bank. The thing about the competition today with these online banks is that it's pretty fierce. I think there's a little bit of a pricing war going on, and that pricing war is not about reducing fees or costs, but rather the competition is offering higher and higher yields, and the fact that interest rates in the United States is going up is certainly helping with that trend. Please do your own homework. I am not here to be recommending using one online bank over another. It's a competitive space. Things are changing. There are several good players in the space. I actually started over 15 years ago using ING Direct. ING doesn't exist anymore. That's morphed into Capital One. So they're a long-time player in the online banking space. There's Ally Bank. There's Barclays Bank of Delaware, affiliated with Barclays Bank. There's Synchrony, and there's Marcus by Goldman Sachs. That's actually the one that I've used for the past few years. Again, that's not to say you should rush out and automatically use Marcus by Goldman Sachs, but I've used that successfully and I'm very happy with them. So please, you need an online savings account. You should have an emergency fund, and I recommend having that emergency fund in an online savings account. If you have other monies that you're saving that should not be invested, but rather should be safe, secure, guaranteed, and protected by FDIC insurance, that pool of money, regardless of whether it's being used for a business purchase, a first home, to save for a tax bill, that too should be in an online savings account, in my opinion. If you want to talk more about that or you want more information, please feel free to contact us. You could go to the website for Elliott Wealth Management. That's www.elliott-wealth.com. You could sign up for a free consultation there with us. You could also subscribe to this podcast, and you can sign up for our monthly mailing list. I appreciate you listening. I'll be back with you very soon on the next episode of the Simply Financial Podcast.
The views expressed are not necessarily the opinion of SagePoint Financial Incorporated and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Please note, the information being provided is strictly as a courtesy. When you link to any of the websites provided here, you are leaving this website. We make no representation as to the completeness or accuracy of the information provided at these websites, nor is the company liable for any direct or indirect technical or system issues or any consequences arising out of your access to your use of third-party technologies, websites, information, and programs made available through this website. When you access one of these websites, you are leaving our website and assume total responsibility and risk for your use of the websites you are linking to. Securities and advisory services are offered through SagePoint Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Elliott Wealth Management, LLC, not affiliated with SagePoint Financial.
Simply Financial is part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can find Exvadio podcasts at exvadio.com/podcast the Apple Podcasts app, iTunes Store, iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever you find podcasts. So join us and stay informed and entertained.